Hi again, kids. My name is Dre Jung from One Family Church in Sydney, Australia. Does anyone remember what happened to Joseph in last week's story? Where was he taken? That's right, he was taken to Egypt, where he was bought by Potiphar, Pharaoh's captain of the guard. God was with Joseph so that he prospered as he lived in the house of his Egyptian master. Potiphar put Joseph in charge of his household, and he entrusted to Joseph's care everything he owned. Because of this, God blessed Potiphar's household. But one day, because of the lie of Potiphar's wife, Joseph was thrown into jail. 2 years had passed and he hadn't heard a word until one day, Pharaoh started having troubling dreams that none of the magicians and wise men of Egypt could interpret. It was then that the cupbearer remembered Joseph and told Pharaoh about him. Joseph was called for immediately to interpret the Pharaoh's dreams. Pharaoh described his 2 dreams to Joseph. He was standing by the Nile when 7 fat cows came out of the river and grazed among the reeds. After them, 7 ugly, gaunt cows came out of the river and ate the healthy cows. In Pharaoh's second dream, he saw 7 heads of healthy grain growing on a single stalk. After them, 7 other heads of grain sprouted that were thin and dried by the wind. Again, the thin heads of grain swallowed up the 7 healthy, full heads. Then Pharaoh had woken up. Joseph told the Pharaoh that both their dreams were to be interpreted the same, and that God had revealed his plans to Pharaoh. The 7 good cows and heads of grain represented 7 years of great abundance throughout the land of Egypt. Joseph then explained that the 7 lean cows and the dried up heads of grain that came afterwards represented 7 years of famine that will ravage the land. Pharaoh was so amazed at how Joseph was, how wise he was, and how God had made all these known to him. So he immediately appointed Joseph in charge of the whole land of Egypt. And just as Joseph had predicted in Pharaoh's dream, during the 7 years of abundance, the land produced plentifully, and they stored the food in preparation for the 7 years of great famine ahead. How far Joseph has come! From the pit and prison he was thrown into after the betrayal of others he loved and trusted, to become the Prince of Egypt. Joseph's testimony is a lot like Jesus' story, don't you think? They both endured physical, mental, and emotional suffering, which God allowed so that they could fulfill God's plan and carry out His will for our salvation, and to live eternally with God in heaven. So next time you are struggling with something, look to God for strength. As James chapter 1 verse 12 says, "Happy is the one who endures testing, because when he is proven to be genuine, he will receive the crown of life that God promised to those who love him."